Hi students, today I'm going to show you how to prepare your clay for the potter's wheel. I'm going to have you form 3 balls, wedge it, we have a scale to measure it out, and then we'll head on over to the potter's wheel when we're done. Use your wire cutters. It's much faster to cut through the clay, so there's 1. And then I'm going to take this, divide it, and then let's see how close we got to 1 pound. 1 pound is just a good amount of clay to start with without having it too much to center when you're learning on the wheel. And you don't want too little clay because then that's really hard as a beginner to work with too. So I'm just about 1 pound is all you need. And let's get this last one on here. Just a tiny bit more clay, and we're good. So now I can start wedging. Remember to close your bag so the clay doesn't dry out. Move that over. I don't need the wire cutters. Okay, so just take the clay. I'm just going to form it into a brick that I can easily start wedging. Move those over. So when you wedge, you're using the ram's head method, and with ram's head, I'm pulling the clay up with my fingers vertically, so it's straight up and down, and then I'm using the heel of my hand to press and push down on the clay and forward just a little bit. And then I lift up and I use the heels of my hands to push down and forward, and I'm going to do that about 40 times so that the clay has even consistency. Sometimes parts of the clay will have dry spots, or some parts will be more wet, which means it's more plastic. And also this helps remove any air pockets that might have formed in the clay as you were getting it out of your bag. So as I'm wedging, the front part is more narrow, and then I lift up. So I'm going to try and do this in reverse. Right? So I lift up, and then what I'm doing is I'm pushing this way to bring this forward. And then my hands are cupped. This part of my hand is cupped on the side. It just keeps it from spiraling out and getting really long, because I need the clay to just stay, compact and together as much as possible. Ram's head method of wedging is best for smaller amounts of clay. The spiral or seashell is good for wedging large amounts of clay, but we are not going to worry about that for this wheel throwing session. Okay, once you've wedged it, then you're going to form it into a ball, and this is ready for the wheel. So you're going to do that 2 more times for your other clay. I want you to start with 3 so that in between, so that as you're throwing, if you mess up, because you are going to mess up, that you can just grab the next wad of clay, throw it down on your wheel, and start throwing again without having to come back to the table and wedge. I'm wedging on canvas. The clay doesn't stick to the canvas. It absorbs the moisture, which helps when you have to re-wedge your clay after it's been on the potter's wheel, because it gets really wet. You can also use masonite board, plaster board, or hardy backer board, which is the board that you would put down if you were going to tile a bathroom. All of those work really well and can be picked up at like your hardware store. If you don't have any of those things, you can wedge at home on a hard surface. Just make sure your clay is not too wet so that as you're pushing it, it doesn't end up sticking as you try and pull up. Okay, we're ready to head over to the potter's wheel. Grab your clay. I'm going to grab the wire cutters too. I'm going to grab the other clay tools and I'll meet you at the potter's wheel.